It is Friday evening, but as we know, during portal season, the news never stops. There's been some more news today concerning the Vols and the transfer portal. There's an update to a video I made yesterday concerning former Texas A&M lineman TJ Shanahan. Plus, there's news about one of Tennessee's portal entries finding a new home today as well. Make sure you hit that like, that share, you subscribe. This is Brock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel coming at you. Tennessee will, I don't know who broke it. There's been numerous out there. I will say per volquest.com, Tennessee will host two visitors this weekend, and one is a guard, interior offensive lineman. One's a defensive tackle that they'll be hosting. They host Wendell Moe. He is a redshirt sophomore at Arizona. Says he's appeared in every game since the 2022 season. So he is a redshirt sophomore. He has played a lot out there. He's from Long Beach, California. Well, if that sounds familiar to you, yep, same town as Nico Iamaleava. He went to Long Beach Poly High School. Nico went to Warren High School, but Nico did attend Long Beach Poly as a freshman. So I got to think that with being a year apart, their paths have to have crossed at some point. So I don't know what the connection is, if there's any more than that to it or not. He's a need. And TJ Shanahan, I talked about that yesterday. I made the video. He was supposed to announce, looked like could be a great pickup for Tennessee if they could get that one going. But late last night, it come out that, pretty much as soon as it says he is visiting, now he is not scheduled to visit. And I'm not sure if that's it. The way I read it, it's like he won't be visiting at all now. That's portal season for you. It's portal season. You don't know what's going to happen from 1 minute to the next with this NIL, with this portal and stuff. It's chaotic. It's almost anarchy. I don't think you know from 1 minute to the next what's going to happen anymore. It should not surprise anyone when anyone hits the portal. It shouldn't surprise anyone if somebody shows up. It shouldn't surprise anyone if they're supposed to show up and they don't. This portal stuff, it's madness. It's crazy. When there's no rules behind it, this is what you're going to get. It just is what it is. It's kind of like letting the inmates run the asylum. That's kind of the way I see it right here. Josh Heupel, I seen a comment today. He was on the Rich Eisen show this week, and he was asked, how much time do you spend on stuff non-coaching? He said, more than I'd like to. This stuff's crazy. This portal stuff is. That's why I don't know if it's more chaotic in football than it is, say, basketball, baseball, and so forth. I have to imagine it is, just because of the size of the roster. I mean, basketball, you're managing a much smaller roster, so I can't imagine it's near as chaotic as it is for football. Baseball is probably more chaotic than basketball too, just because it's a bigger roster. But these coaches, man, they've got to have their hands full with this stuff. It's recruiting your own players. It's recruiting other players, more or less like 24/7, 365. I mean, it is chaotic right now. So Tennessee is scheduled. All right, we won't know for sure till they get to campus. They are scheduled to host Wendell Moe, interior offensive lineman, played for Arizona. It's said that Washington and Auburn are after him as well. Well, Washington is where the former Arizona coach, Jed Fish, went this past season. So it kind of makes me wonder, do they have an inside track, considering Fish would have brought Moe to Arizona? But maybe that connection with Nico, again, I have to think they've crossed paths at some point, being from the same place, being from pretty close to the same time, being at the same high school there as well. So hopefully that connection will pay off, because Tennessee will need interior offensive linemen. Right now you got, if Karich gets another year, you've got him, you got Sham Umaroff. If Karich doesn't get another year. You're very inexperienced at that guard spot. I think you need a guard there as well. And you're also, that was why I liked Shanahan. He could play guard or center because based on how it's set up right now, you would have William Satterwhite, who will be a redshirt freshman next year, taking over. And I think there's a load of potential there, but at the same time, he hasn't played SEC football. Wendell Moe will visit this weekend. It's said there's also a lineman, Thompson. Can't remember the name off the top of my head. Thompson from Northwestern, who's scheduled to visit this week as well. So we'll see. He's supposed to go to Ohio State. We'll see if you make it. A lot of times with these portal visits, sometimes guys go on that one visit and they're done. So you have to survive the initial visits if you're Tennessee or whomever with it. The other portal visitor is James Thompson Jr., played for Wisconsin, says he does have 1 year eligibility left. He missed this season with a torn pectoral muscle. Said while at Wisconsin, he appeared in 38 games, 58 tackles, 5 sacks, 32 quarterback hurries. He announced on X, formerly known as Twitter, he's visiting Texas A&M, Illinois, Oklahoma State, and Tennessee. So, will he make it in or not? He's scheduled to. So, who knows how that goes. But that is 2 that Tennessee's scheduled to have. There will be more. There's no doubt about it. Like I said, Thompson from same last name, Thompson, but played at Northwestern, will also be in later in the week. Shanahan will not be in. I did post kind of a disclaimer, an edit on the video at the top of it in the comment section as well. But I still think, moving forward, that if you're Tennessee, I think Dylan Sampson has to go to the NFL. You've got to take a serious look at that running back position just because it's unproven. I think there's talent down there, but do you trust them to be able to tote the load next year? Wide receiver, with losing 4 scholarship wide receivers, and I honestly, I don't know that how much they all factored in moving forward. And it was announced that Caleb Webb is transferring to Wake Forest, so wish him the best of luck there. He wasn't getting a lot of playing time. He got playing time here and there. I know he had a catch against Vanderbilt, but we didn't hear his name a whole lot this year. Best of luck to him. I said Vanderbilt. Let me rephrase. Let me go back because he's transferring to Wake Forest. He played at Vanderbilt. If I misspoke on that one, I apologize. But Caleb Webb to Wake Forest, and haven't heard anything on Nimrod, Spillman, or Leacock where they'll go as well. So do they go closer to home? Where is it? Tight end, I think Tennessee's good at tight end. Offensive line, you got to think they're trying to, as you can see, they're trying to get an interior offensive lineman. I fully expect Rodney Garner is going to try to add at least 1 defensive lineman through the portal. He's done it about every year. I really think they're good at linebacker. Barring that no one else leaves, Jalen Smith hit the portal. I don't think anybody else leaves. I really don't. And you've got some young, talented linebackers in Arion Carter, Jeremiah Thielander, Caleb Perry, Edwin Spillman scheduled to come back. Then you had Jaden Harmon. You add Jaden Perlotti. You had Brandon Ames. And you got Christian Gass, who, based on what I've seen, could play linebacker, maybe play some end as well. That'll be interesting to see what he does. And then secondary, I mean, they return pretty much everybody other than Will Brooks. Kind of see Jordan Matthews hit the portal. Thought that was a guy that had some potential. But, with Jermod McCoy coming back next year, Ricky Gibson, they seem to be cemented. Christian Harrison, Boo Carter did their thing. Jordan Thomas will be back next year. He could go back to safety, possibly. Jacoby Thomas comes back. Andre Turrentine comes back. Jalen McMurray comes back. Caleb Beasley comes back. I just can't see. Plus, you added a lot of guys through the high school class as well. I can't see Tennessee adding there. Really don't think Tennessee's going to have a ton of portal needs. Maybe 5 or so is really kind of what I see. But these 2 guys here, if you're bringing them in, I think you're serious about it. You kind of get to see what kind of character that you're getting. if they were to commit. That's the big thing about these Tennessee programs, whether it's football, baseball, basketball. They all do recruit based on character. We've heard it with Rick Barnes. We heard it with Tony Vitello. Tony Vitello threw a recruit, Blake Sear, who committed to Florida. He didn't say him by name, but it was pretty obvious. Set of guys here trying to get a bag from us, and that's not going to fly on it. But these guys are recruiting the character. They're recruiting to their program. They want guys to come in, fit in. You're not recruiting guys to come in and be a distraction along the way. And unfortunately, that's probably going to be more and more the case as they move forward. But as NIL goes forward, you've always got to be recruiting your own guys, because there's agents, there's people behind the scenes that want to, I guess, commercial the players out or what have you. Like I said, it's anarchy. It's chaos right now for sure. But we'll see where it goes on this. Keep you updated if Tennessee gets any commitments on that. Lady Vols they play tomorrow at 2:00. I'll be live immediately after at around 4. Your number one ranked men's Tennessee Vols plays tomorrow at 5:30 on Fox against Illinois. That should be a pretty tough game, I expect. I did a preview on that last night. If you have not checked that out, check that out as well. But I'll be live after both games tomorrow. I appreciate your support, guys. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit that like, that share, that subscribe. We're 10 away from 2,400 right now. I'd love to hit 2,500 by the end of the year. 3,000 was the goal. We'll go for 2,500. That's pretty cool. But 2,400 is pretty awesome as well. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your Friday the 13th. Last but most certainly not least, every day is a great day to wear the orange.